say they're hoping to have power restored to customers in the Panhandle by early November. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says they will not pay millions to a black man who became quadriplegic when a deputy shot him. Text messages surrounding trips made by Democratic candidate for Governor Andrew Gillum are being turned over as part of an ethics investigation. And Disney has filed a patent for a rotating roller coaster vehicle that rotates while moving along a roller coaster track. And that is your news brief from The Source.
Your day on Wednesday, we'll see a mix of clouds and sunshine with a shower in spots, highs in the low to mid 80s. Then your Wednesday night will be partly cloudy, lows in the mid to upper 60s, even low 70s in some areas. Thursday, partly sunny, thunderstorm chances in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid 80s. Showers storm around Friday with more clouds and a breeze, mid to upper 80s for the high. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Bill Degger.
Shop, sample, and share the fun at Orlando's favorite event for women, the Southern Women's Show, October 25th through 28th at the Orange County Convention Center. Discover hundreds of boutiques filled with the latest fashions and trends, jewelry, gourmet treats, health and beauty, and so much more. Meet Savannah Chrisley from Chrisley Knows Best on Saturday. See actor and best-selling author Keegan Allen on Sunday. And watch your firefighters heat up the stage. Visit SouthernWomenShow.com for details. Discount tickets at Walgreens.
I'm Keith Perry. Lots of people run for office and tell you how great they are. They talk at you, tell you what to think. That's not me. I'm a roofer by trade, and as a young man, started my business with an ethic of fairness and hard work, and the common sense to get the job done right. That was 40 years ago, right here in our community. Now Perry Roofing employs more than 100 people in the area. People I learn from every day. People that I'm proud to know. I want you and everybody in North Central Florida to have the ability to be creative and build a life full of opportunity and accomplishments. That's why I want to represent you in the Florida Senate, to make a difference and get results. I'm Keith Perry. I'm just a regular guy, but I've got the common sense and determination to get things done for you, for all of North Central Florida.
Paid for by Keith Perry, Republican for Florida Senate.
Thank you. 5 minutes after 8 o'clock, Galen Unold is on the phone from LifeSouth Community Blood Center. Good morning, Galen.
Hey, good morning, Larry, Robin. How are y'all?
Pretty good. I assume you're in a good mood. Correct?
Yeah, that's a pretty easy assumption. Yeah. Yeah.
So how late did you stay up watching the game? For those who don't know, it would be the Red Sox game, just so you know.
Yeah, I went to bed, relatively early. I was in bed about midnight. The game got over, and I think I finally fell asleep at about 1. So, just a fun game. The Red Sox never trailed, so that makes it a lot easier. It just does.
They never trailed.
My wife, it's amazing. My wife looked at me, and she was like, and she wanted to talk, and it's like 7:30, and she's sitting there, and she's like, "Look, I've got my Red Sox shirt on," and I'm like. I said this. I said I'm anxious, and she's like, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "The World Series starts in 30 minutes." She says, "Well, I'm going to sit right here and watch it with you." I said, "Great." And then she started asking some bad questions, and so that's not the time to ask bad questions. I'm focused.
Too funny.
She lasted to like the second inning, and then then she got bored and was doing something else.
So I don't have a whole lot to bring to the table with these conversations, but I have one thing I wanted to tell you about the Dodgers. I know why they're called the Dodgers.
Great.
Do you know? Does anybody know why they're called the Dodgers? Okay.
I'm sure I've heard the story before. I just don't remember.
Man, really? Okay, so
I don't know why they're called the
Dodgers. So let me begin with why Radio Flyer is called the Radio Flyer. The Radio Flyer was called the Radio Flyer because radio was a big deal back when they first made that little wagon. Mm-hmm. So they gave it a cool name because radio was a cool word. Mm-hmm. Right? Radio was the thing, right? This new thing. You could listen to things that weren't in your room. They were coming from someplace else. There was a mysterious signal making its way to your home, right?
Right.
So radio was a cool word. Well, the same thing was true for the trolley. And in the electric trolley started showing up all over New York City, and Brooklyn is where this team played, of course. And I guess this would have been in the late 1800s, I guess. And so So the writers, the reporters, the writer reporters who had to go from, I think it was Baltimore, Galen, I'm not sure. The Baltimore newspaper had to go to Brooklyn to watch the game, and they said, we're going to have to go dodge the trolleys, and we're watching the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Oh,
No, they called them the Brooklyn Trolley Dodgers at first.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what they wrote in their newspaper, and so that's how the name came about.
Oh, gosh.
There you go.
Cool.
Had you ever heard that before?
Yeah, I had heard about dodging the trolleys, so I've heard a different version of it. But yeah,
What'd you hear?
It's kind of the same. It's almost the same. It just didn't come from a newspaper. It came from one of the players or one of the fans or something like that. They had to dodge the trolleys to get to the stadium.
Well, anyway.
It's a similar thing. It's just a matter of, whether it was a writer or whether it was a fan or whether it was a player.
Yeah. So, and then the trolleys were gone, I guess, by the early 1900s. So, but the name just stuck.
That is pretty
Before
cool.
that, by the way, and this is the only thing I can tell you that I knew without looking it up. I had to look that up. I didn't really know, but I knew where the field was because there's a school named after the field, Abbotts Field.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, there's a school right next to it.
Nice.
So and home plate is still there too, by the way, if you ever go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It is.
Nice.
Yeah.
But it's been gone.
seen it.
Since for as long as I've been alive, I think.
Oh.
I think they actually tore down Abbotts Field in like the late 50s.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it's like a condominium apartment complex now or something.
Yeah.
But the home plate is still there. It's like bronze or something, and then
Yeah, it is.
the school.
There's a little plaque next to it, and you wouldn't know it was there unless you knew it was there. So somebody would have to literally point it out to you. I saw it like in when did I see it? My dad and I went and saw it when we were up in New York, and I think in the late it was like 2000 something.
Yeah.
So 90? No, it was maybe in the 90s.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you like the neighborhood? That's Flatbush, by the way. For those of you who know.
Yeah, well, he grew up in New York and so in Flushing. So he didn't know Flatbush that well, but he was he was in Mets territory. He was a Red Sox fan.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. So those are the two bits I know. Let me let a listener say something. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning. Galen, Boston looks pretty good. I wouldn't be a bit surprised on a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how people are changing their mind. I told you, they'll still win in 5. They're just a better team.
Can I ask you a personal question about how did you ever become a Red Sox fan? I mean, were you born and raised in Boston, or was there a Navy connection, or just how did that happen?
No, my dad was a Red Sox fan. And so what we would do is every spring training, we would go down to Red Sox spring training. And we would spend a week down there, and that's how I became a Red Sox fan.
So how'd they get their name? I'm sorry, Hugh. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
Have you seen any games up in Fenway?
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Hugh. So, did you ever tell us how they got their name?
I don't know. I may have. They used to be called the Red Stockings, and they changed their name several times. It's just, I don't know. It's just that doesn't mean much to me. I mean, it was because you got to remember when they first started, they didn't have names like that. So they were just have been called Boston, and then they wore Red Stockings.
Yeah.
And so, I think the story goes something like the Red Stockings win, and then they kind of shortened it to the Red Sox win, and then the moniker stuck.
They changed the spelling.
Well, it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
It just didn't. When they started, they didn't say, okay, well, we need a fight name, because those didn't come till much later.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the Dodgers was the Brooklyn Baseball Club. That was their original name.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So
There's just no need for it, because you were just playing, you were representing Brooklyn, and it was more like like a regional team. It's not like these guys made any money.
Yeah,
It's like if you were to have a bowling team, right now, and you were to go and you were playing some kind of a tournament for the Southeast, it would be Ocala bowling team. You know.
Yeah, right. Until some writer decided to give you a different name, then that would stick.
Well, you know, and again, newspapers were, so important to society.
Yeah, it was a huge deal. Radio was a huge deal, though, for baseball in those days. Though radio was huge.
Later. But you got to remember how long the Red Sox and the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Oh no, I know. You couldn't be a big deal if you didn't exist. But I'm saying in the early days of radio and baseball had a huge connection, at least in the Northeast.
Sure did.
Yeah.
It was across the world because if you look across the country, because if you looked at it, if you look at the why, the St. Louis Cardinals have a massive following all along the Midwest. And the reason is because the station that covered them was 100,000 watt clear channel station.
Yeah, probably.
So at night, you could pick them up almost anywhere in the country. And my mom used to say that they would sit around and they could listen to the St. Louis Cardinals baseball game, and her brothers loved that. And and that was in the early 50s, and the same was true for a lot of those huge and that's why the Cardinals have such a loyal, passionate, really, really smart baseball fan base.
Yeah.
So it's just a part of their culture.
And the power of the radio stations was not as important in the New York area for two reasons. First of all, it was so congested, so you were pretty close to wherever that tower was. But second of all, because they put those towers on the skyscrapers, some of them even on the Empire State Building. So so they went far. And the guys I know, like in my era, like in the 60s, they would have the radio with them, those little transistor radios, and they would go to the game. So they'd be listening and watching it at the same time.
Yeah, my friends too. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the little earpiece on it, we'd have a family gathering, and they'd be listening to their transistor radio.
And by the way, the way you sat was in bleachers back in those days. They didn't have the comfortable seats like they have now.
Yeah.
Do you know why they call bleachers?
No.
Because they were boards of wood that were bleached after every game because people would be spilling stuff all over them.
There you go. Oh, that makes sense.
They bleach them. Yeah. All right, Galen, we have a 20 after. You know who's coming on?
No.
Patti LaBelle.
Oh, okay.
Do you know Patti LaBelle?
Right.
She's wonderful.
I don't know her personally. I mean, I've heard her music.
She taught me how to ask a woman to go to bed in French.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Congratulations.
Do you want me to show you the lesson? I can play the lesson for you. Are you ready?
Is that what you're going to leave the interview with?
Yes. Listen. That's right.
Sure.
I mean, that was an important thing to learn back in those days. You never knew if you were going to go to France.
Had to be prepared.
Right. Right.
Oh my gosh. So, Galen, how's the blood supply right now?
We are right at a 4-day blood supply. We just need, we'd like to be at a 7, so we just need people to get out there in order to have a safe and adequate blood supply. And adequate is a big part of that. So it's got to be available and ready and already tested and on the shelves before someone needs it.
Yeah.
So we just need people to get out there, give the gift of life, and donate blood.
So somebody in South Carolina is now a billionaire, potential billionaire.
Leaves the pressure that I would have if I won that kind of money.
I'm telling you.
So.
If I won, everybody would say I'm going to be a loser. I'm going to be a drunk, and I'm going to be going to France singing my little song.
Yeah, right. You're going to be in the gutter.
Oh, man.
Now, first of all, you're not a loser if you have, let's just say you take the cash payout of $900 million. You're not a loser. You're eccentric. I mean, let's be clear. Money solves all problems.
I like that expression. Let's be clear.
Yeah, but it doesn't solve the blood shortage problem. So money can't buy blood. So you got to go out and donate.
I could, you are correct, Robin. But,
Robin is a professional.
It could help.
Robin will always bring it back to the topic that's important.
Yeah. You have $900 million. I'm pretty sure you could get a blood transfusion. I don't care what country you're in. You could be in Honduras. and you could get the a blood transfusion.
All right, let's see. I want to make sure we thank Palm Garden of Ocala. By the way, they were voted best of the best in the Ocala Star Banner's Best of the Best contest.
Yes, they were.
And I have a little
Skilled
commercial to
nursing.
play you that Jan did yesterday to commemorate that. Go to Palm Garden, take a tour, see why they are best of the best. I can say that now. How about that? See why. See why other people, it's not just us, Robin, other people also agree.
That's right.
Pan Flooring, thank you for what you do also and for sponsoring this segment. They're at 1201 Southwest 17th Street. Go see their showroom, see how they can make your home or office more beautiful from the floor up. And please don't forget to donate blood if you're eligible. Thank you, Galen. Thank you for what you do.
Yeah, no problem. Game 2 tonight, 8:09. First pitch.
It's a strange time, 8:09.
And by the way, did you hear the James Taylor national anthem?
No, I'll have to look it up later on.
I wanted your thoughts. It was subdued. I'll put it that way. It was very subdued.
Yeah, well, that's James Taylor. He's always subdued, yeah.
Yeah. I'll say that. All right.
All right, thank you, Galen. We'll be right back.
Bye, y'all.
We'll be right back.
I'm Jan Marino, and it's my great honor to represent Palm Garden as the winner of the Best of the Best contest